Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to this week's episode of Friday Fire. Man, it's so good to be back here talking to you guys. And today I want to talk about something that most entrepreneurs don't prioritize enough. And I know we might be sick of hearing about it because it is a little bit of a buzzword, but mental health is just about the most important thing that can come into play for any kind of entrepreneur. And, you know, I get it, right? So you're focusing on running a business. Your focus is on growth. It's on sales. It's on making things happen, right? But, you know, here's the thing. Every business that I've worked with that's, under 3 million a year in revenue, the business is a direct reflection of the person that owns it or the person that runs it. And if the mental health side of things isn't in check, that business, it almost emulates the person's brain, and it runs like a very cluttered mess. So today, I want to chat with you guys about mental health and business. And because your mental health really is your business health. Everything that you've got inside of you as an entrepreneur generally goes into your business. You put everything into it, your savings, your time, your hopes, your dreams, everything you've got that's you goes into that business. And it is very stressful. It's very difficult not to get overwhelmed with all the stuff we have to do. And, anxiety can permeate through, especially when we're just starting out and the revenue's a little shaky. It affects everything from the decisions you make during the day to how you lead your team to how much you spend on advertising and marketing and your belief in yourself. So don't fucking put all that weight on your shoulders and not pay attention to the fact that it's hurting upstairs and you're starting to get a bit burned out or stressed or overwhelmed or anxious. 2024 has been an absolutely incredible year in business. It's had its ups, downs, and its sideways. And a lot of people this year that I've spoke to have lost major amounts of money, have invested huge sums of capital in projects that haven't panned out, and myself included. And when you sit down and you look and you go, wow, I've put 6 figures into this and I've worked for this for 9 months of my year and I still don't have anything out of it. It can take a massive dent, load, if you will, on your mental health and whether you actually want to keep going. And I think one of the big problems with the society we're in right now is that there's this hustle mindset that actually glorifies burnout, and there's really nothing glorious about being burned out. We shouldn't be working 24/7. We should work to live. And if we're living to work and we're working 24/7, how can you start to build something successful? You have to be able to breathe. It's not like a badge of honor that I'm working 24 hours a day. It's a badge of, oh shit, I fucked up. We're not trying to work 24 hours a day. We're trying to optimize our time and get as much work as possible done and delegate tasks and stuff. But the whole idea here is that we buy the freedom to do what we want when we want, and we incorporate our mission and our life and our business into that freedom. Right? So let's not glorify burnout so much as let's maybe take a look at some of the things that we can do to avoid it and to, live and work at the same time. Otherwise, it's just going to be all work. And really, where's the fun in that? No wonder you're burned out. No wonder you're miserable. No wonder your mental health's declining if all you do is wake up every day and from dusk till dawn, bang your head against your computer screen. Right? You've got to take some steps to get this reined in. So here's a few things that I've found that have really helped with this over the last few years of me being a consultant. And the strange thing is about being a consultant is what I say is true. The direct correlation between the business and the mindset of the entrepreneur that runs it is overwhelming. It's absolutely staggering. And again, once you get above about 3 million, you have to have systems and processes in place to scale and to grow from there. And so you can't really get any bigger than that by just winging it. I'm talking about the guys 98% of you that are under that level of revenue and are literally just fucking winging it. And so here's some of the things that I've noticed as I'm teaching and that I've used myself. The number one most important thing to avoid burnout is setting a boundary every now and again, is actually saying no to stuff. And I know as entrepreneurs that are young in the game, not necessarily their age, but how long they've been doing it, they've got a very overwhelming ambition to please regardless. And they'll go above beyond, and over the fence to get their customers what they need. Well, the problem is that they're not serving their ideal customer. And so if something isn't serving your business and if something's not moving the needle in your business, you don't need to do it. And so there's certain types of customer that are going to push and push and push and push and push. And like, you've just got to say no to the things that aren't going to move the needle inside of your business, or inside your life for that matter, but inside your business especially. There's so many things will come across your desk during the day that like they're not important enough to deserve your attention. I'm not going to say they're not important, right? So far too many of us spend time on social media, for example, worrying about who P. Diddy's been having sex with, or worrying about who's going to be, the first person to meet aliens, or worrying about just random shit. Especially this time of year with politics and the amount of both sides playing extreme information games. There's really nothing that you should be focused on other than work. And I know it's easy to get distracted in these dopamine holes because, we all do it. But if it's not going to bring you money, and if it's not going to bring you happiness, if it's not going to bring you joy, why are you spending your time on it? And there are a whole bunch of things that come across our desk during the course of business that we really need to learn to say no to, because saying no to shit, and like, you don't need to attend every meeting. Like, oh, do you have time to jump on a Zoom call? No, what do you want? Just fucking tell me what you want. This doesn't need to be a Zoom call. It doesn't need to be a meeting. Like, learn to get to the point. You don't need to reply to every email immediately. Like, when you're doing something and you're 100% focused on it, and you stop to look at something else and your brain changes gears, it takes 10 or 12 minutes to get your brain back into gear, to get back to what you were doing. And so if you're checking a bloody email every time a notification pings on your desk, like, I don't have notifications on when I'm at work now. I mean, I see bits from time to time, but when I'm on task, I have to stay on task. And Facebook Messenger blows up all day, Telegram blows up all day, Slack blows up all day, email blows up all day, and I can't do it. Like, I've got to have a definite boundary that says I'm working on this. And then, a few times a day I check the emails, a few times a day I check the Telegram, and I get back. Now, obviously, if we're working on a project together and using Telegram to talk about what we're doing, then it's going to be open. But for the most part, I'm relatively unreachable during the day unless it's some kind of emergency. And so, I tend to set that boundary there that says leave me alone. And you should do the same. Like, not all business is good business, and not all distractions are good distractions. And so learning the difference between the two and saying no to people and saying no to things will actually protect a lot of the time that you're losing, because most of us lose most of our time not by doing the wrong thing at the wrong time in the business. It's by doing nothing within the business because we're distracted by shit that doesn't matter. So that's probably the most important one for mental health. The next one is delegating and automating tasks. I don't know how many times I got to have this conversation with business owners. It's probably going to be infinite. I'll probably just have this conversation over and over and over until they wheel me into my grave. But you've got to stop spending your $1,000 and $2,000 an hour time. If your talent's worth $1,000 an hour, or your talent's worth $500 an hour, or whatever it is, you've got to stop spending that time doing $15 an hour tasks. You've got to, because when you've got 8 hours in the day that you're going to work, and you've got the opportunity to do 8 hours at $500 an hour, you're pushing away that opportunity by doing the busy work that costs 15 or $20 an hour. And I know when we're starting out, we're trying to make money, it seems backwards to spend money on employees. but it really isn't. It's what moves you forward. Most CEOs spend most of their time talking about employees, talking to employees, training employees, and recruiting and finding more employees. I would imagine that is probably 50 to 60% of any CEO's time. Right? Is finding people and training people and getting those people on that page so those tasks can be delegated or automated. Right? You've got to stop doing everything yourself. Even on the lowest level, right? You can go to Sphere Rocket, the company I use, and you can get a virtual assistant starting at $4 or $5 an hour. Okay, so let's just say it costs $10 an hour to get a virtual assistant. You could, for $1,600 a month, have 160 hours of somebody else's time that's doing the stuff that you've already done, you've already documented, and you've already delegated. So, like, it just makes perfect sense. I mean, I don't edit these podcasts, right? I have an editor do it. But before it went to the editor, we created the intros, the outros, the commercials, and everything. So all the editor's got to do is break the show down and put it all together, follow a step-by-step set of instructions, and I get my podcast edited by an editor that I pay $25 an hour to, as opposed to me doing it myself when I can be consulting and getting paid thousands of dollars to do consulting work, right? So you got to look at your business the same way. Yeah, we've got to be marketing. Yeah, we've got to be talking to people about what we do. Yeah, we've got to be getting stuff in the door. Yeah, we've got to be fulfilling stuff as well. Yes, it's stressful. I fucking know. But what you've got to do the most is organize that time and get tasks off of your desk onto somebody else's desk that execute those tasks for you in a way that you've taught them. So I learned this from one of my mentors. It's just do it, document it, delegate it. Right. And if you need more help with virtual assistants, just hit follow sam.live. I've got a whole page on there about virtual assistants. But it really will help your mental health, getting some of that busy work off of your desk and freeing up your time to focus on the next level up. So it might be that you get rid of video editing work and then you work more on client acquisition stuff. And then once you get the client acquisition stuff documented and delegated, you hire a sales guy or an account executive, I think they're called these days, and then you move to the next thing. And that's how it works. But until you start delegating and automating things, you're never going to get the $10 an hour tasks off your desk, and you're never going to be able to focus on the $500 an hour stuff. You've got to get it out there, right? Like, boom, get it out there. And I think the other most important thing is to schedule breaks during the day. I have a couple of times a day where I just shut down for about 20 minutes. I'll sit on the couch, I'll scroll on my phone, I'll drink tea. I've got some tea right here. It's hot tea, being English and all that. I never gave that up. I'll sit and drink tea. But just for 20 minutes or so, just stop what you're doing. And I got that again from this Jim Quick book. I'm going to pull it down here, try and make a mess here. It sits on my shelf there. Limitless by Jim Quick. That's an excellent book. It tells you more about how the brain works and how to learn and how attention. Oops. My books just fell down. That was holding some up. But it teaches you about how to learn and how attention spans work and stuff. And so that's why I like to check out for 20 minutes every now and again. And so if you could bear those things in mind, those three things, like set boundaries and say no to shit, the stuff you do repeatedly, like document it, delegate it, automate it, get it off your desk. And then number three, take fucking breaks every now and again. You're not a robot. You're not a machine, right? I'll work at 6 a.m. some days and I'll work at 10 p.m. some days. But I take breaks and I do things in time blocks and I do things intentionally. And even though I work almost every day, I love what I do. You see, so it doesn't really fucking add to this stress or this like stuff that you're all going through, because I've got my boundaries set and I pick and choose which clients I work with, and I've got specific tasks delegated. I've got other ones automated with AIs that I've built. I take regular breaks, so I'm all right. And really the outcome of all this is, I'm sorry, I've been ranting at you for so long. The outcome of all of this is that if you can get your mind clear, then your business will grow. And that's what I focus on in the clinic. It's not about, how to do marketing and how to do a sale here and there. It's about defining who the ultimate version of yourself is and starting there with a clean piece of paper and writing out exactly what your ideal business and your ideal life looks like. Because the clearer your mind is on where you want to go, the more effective you'll be as the guy running the company. Like, when your mind is sharp and your focus is there and you know what your objectives are, it's much easier to improve decision making, your content creation and your creativity and your mental state will be much better. So the creativity flows there, and it's setting you up more and more. If you can be clear and focused, you're playing a long game, right? So we get the mind clear and we can focus on a long game with long-term goals instead of just fucking trying to survive for the week, which, given 2024 and the feedback I've had from clients and just the industry in general, a lot of y'all, myself included, have lost money this year and are trying to play this survival game a little bit harder, which includes, getting out into the marketplace and being clear and focused and being effective on the things you're trying to achieve. So that's kind of where I'm going with this. If you want to scale your business, you've got to start by scaling yourself. If you want your business to grow first, you have to grow mentally so that the man running the damn business has the right set of skills and the right attitude to be able to run it and keep control of it and to grow it. And that's what I teach. All right, recap: set boundaries, delegate and automate, schedule breaks. Ooh, and last thing, write down your wins every day. That's something else we teach in the clinic. But write down your wins every day just so you can see how far you've come. Because when you're having a bad day and you're not feeling it, if you've got that list of wins and if you've got that list of things you're grateful for and that tracking notepad that we do, boy, I tell you what, it makes the mental health game a whole lot easier to win. All right, that's it. I'm out. That's going to do it for me for today. That's enough talking for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this Friday Fire. If you did and you need somebody to hear this, please share the episode. It helps us to grow the show. Tag somebody who might like it. Go to followsam.live, check out the clinic, check out Sphere Rocket, all that good stuff. And guys, thank you so much for listening. Please tune in to Monday's show where I have a guest, Brian Manning, one of the top insurance brokers in the entire Colorado market. And he reveals exactly what he did when he quit his corporate job and went on his own, started his own business and grew one of the largest insurance brands in his state. So tune in with us Monday. All right, I'm out of here. You'll be good. Stay out of trouble. Have a great weekend. I'll see ya. All right, guys, that wraps up another episode of the Small Business Surgeon podcast. I hope that you have taken away some valuable insights from today's show. If you did and enjoyed it, be sure and hit that like and subscribe button and share this episode with someone who needs to hear it. And if you're serious about growing your business and you want to be a part of a community of like-minded entrepreneurs, just go to followsam.live and join our free group, The Clinic. All right, I'll see you next week.